that, we've managed to build excellent relationships with them.
Hi, I'm Rory. I'm a mechatronics engineer and the CTO of Cropsy. I think what's unique about Cropsy is we provide a full end-to-end fruit growing management package that includes plant health, plant yield, operational maintenance, and more. It's easy to use, integrates into growers' daily operations, and there's no market leaders in this sector.
Hi, I'm Layla. I'm COO at Cropsy. I'm also a computer systems engineer. The biggest advantage we have is we're really customer focused. So we really listen to the growers and actually deliver what they need. And we're always looking for ways to add value and value.
Hi, I'm Winston. I'm in charge of all the AI development at Cropsy. AI is seeing massive growth at the moment, and the edge that Cropsy has is in the quality of the data we collect, which makes it really easy for us to transition to other fruit like kiwi fruit and apples.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, thanks very much. Can you tell me how difficult your technology is to expand to other crops?
Yeah, so as Winston just mentioned, we see a huge opportunity to expand to other high-value crops such as apples, oranges, and more. We started in wine grapes because it's a high-value crop, has huge market, and the wine industry is constantly adopting new tech. They even have dedicated transformation teams. Cropsy's branched out into kiwi fruit earlier than planned when the sole kiwi fruit exporter in New Zealand approached us wanting to accelerate the expansion. We don't see the tech being a problem. Our data or our technology is ready and waiting to collect and detect data, but all Cropsy needs is more resources to accelerate this process and go into other crops.
In 5 seconds, can you tell me how big your market is?
It's 2.7 US at least, but that's not including the new value and new information that we're bringing to growers. That's just based on savings alone. The transformative part of our technology is so hard to estimate the value.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Thank you.
If anyone has any more questions for Cropsy, which I'm sure you do, it sounds amazing, find them in their booth or send them a direct message. Next up, we have Komodo. I'm going to end the session and a notification will pop up. Thanks, everyone.
The main thing we're focused on is student wellbeing. It is a critical issue. I think the past 12 months alone across the world has highlighted that, because students don't open up in person. They don't go up to their own parents, let alone their friends. What we provide is an opportunity for that student to open up around exactly what's going on with their well-being, but then also for staff to see that and begin to intervene, because what tends to happen is lots of these issues go unseen and go missed. And so really what then happens is a far more critical issue happens, a really serious issue around bullying, for example. So now what Komodo does is we stop that and hopefully prevent that issue and intercept it at that onset point.
Yeah, boarding life is full on. It's not just 9 till 3 in the classroom, and we want our kids to be happy and feel safe and supported. Komodo's given me a tool to bring wellbeing to the fore in boarding by having a platform that we can set up the surveys, the questionnaires to have regular check-ins with the students. And rather than having a reactive process, we are being really proactive and getting the information out of them before things become a problem.
Gone are the days where we stick our head in the sand and we ignore mental health and we don't talk about well-being. We have to address it right now.
Hi, I'm Chloe Hammond, one of the lucky mentors on the Komodo squad, and I'm here with Chris Bacon, CEO and co-founder of Komodo. Hi, Chris. So, quick question, I've got 3 for you. Can you tell me more about the traction you've had so far with Komodo?
Yeah, totally. And hi to everyone. So yeah, I mean, the key things that's really been happening is we're now across 4,000 students over 12 schools in Australia and New Zealand. And with that, what we're seeing is a really strong engagement rate of 95% of our users are coming back month on month and really engaging the platform in a deep manner. And the other key thing is we're working with 3 top associations internationally, the Independent Schools of New Zealand, the Australian Boarding Schools Association, and the Council of British International Schools, really getting our message out there.
That's amazing, such great progress. And now I know Right now, you're not immediately looking to raise. So what are the next steps for Komodo?
Yeah, totally. And maybe it's an obvious one, but the key for us is execution and really getting us across as many schools as possible and having that impact, because we are very purpose driven and focus on making a difference in those students' lives. I mean, for example, the past 3 weeks alone, we've had 38 schools approach us. So very quick in terms of scaling. And more importantly, what we are doing is going to do a capital raise towards the end of the year, where we're looking to scale into the Northern Hemisphere, in particular the UK and the US. So yeah, please keep your tabs on that.
That's exciting, because we know this isn't just a problem in Australasia, it's worldwide. So great to see you growing to other countries. Now, as I said, this is a big problem, and I know anyone in the audience with kids in their life will care deeply about it. So to maybe finish off, what's one piece of advice you have for any of the parents or caregivers in the audience?
Yeah, I punch, I didn't hear it, but I think I know what you asked. So basically, there's the two key pieces of advice pieces that I would love people to take away from today. Firstly is just begin the conversation with your own child, your own siblings. And I suppose from that, what I would do right now is, please, if you could text your child, a really simple question of, how is your well-being at the moment? Start that conversation, because I think it's really important that we just give people that opportunity. But secondly, from my own sake, and I suppose a little bit of a plug, it'd be great if people could follow us on LinkedIn and really jump onto there. And I suppose more importantly is share our message across your schools. And please come and visit me at the booth, because I'm really interested to try and make as big a difference as possible across as many students as possible. So yeah, and as I say, I've also, just to wrap up, I'd like to say thank you to our squad, our mentors, who have made a huge difference to us and put us in this awesome position to be able to scale and tackle this huge mission. But also thank you to Startmate and the community. I think there's nothing like learning off others who have been in the same space and on the same journey. So yeah, that would just be it for me. And yeah, please come and find me afterwards. Always approachable. Always love a good conversation.
Awesome.
Cheers, Chris, and cheers, Chloe. That wraps up this session. Now we're going to be heading over to Job.
Kia ora, I'm Candice Party, CEO and founder of JobLoads, where people find mana or respect at work. 34.4 million people work in agriculture globally. In a post-COVID world with limited migration and travel restrictions, many food and fibre producers across the globe have been left short. I always struggled to find a reliable supply of people on my own orchard, and I saw firsthand the inequities that existed in the system. Workers are wanting to feel more valued for the work they do, and food and fibre producers are frustrated with an unreliable labour supply. JobLoads is a digital labour supply marketplace, but we are not your average job matching app. Think of JobLoads like a beehive, creating the right conditions for everyone to thrive in and around the hive. Our company was founded in Gisborne, New Zealand, and we've found the Startmate Accelerator to be a real game changer for our team, as we became hyper-focused on the goals we set in 12 weeks, propelling our business forward and rolling from our pre-seed investment round straight into our seed round. We were also challenged and supported as hundreds of workers flocked to sign up as job stars, particularly in the last week as we launched our digital influencer campaign. On the job side, our sales manager loaded over 1 million hours of work onto the JobLoads platform. And so for us, it's really exciting, and the next phase for JobLoads is to get down to the business of growing our Hive community. See us at our booth for a corridor chat.
Hi, I'm Chris Quirk. I had the pleasure of being on JobLoads squad throughout Startmate alongside Kirsty Grant and Lance Hodges. But most importantly, I'd like to introduce JobLoads' amazing founder, Candice Party.
Kia ora koutou katoa.
So as time slips away, let's get into it. Why did you establish the mana, power, respect at work mentality?
Yeah, what I saw was there was this huge gap. People were developing these new emerging on-demand marketplaces for labour supply, but, it's just a job matching solution, and really for this problem, which is such a big sticky problem around trying to find reliable workers for orchards and the demographic that we were hitting, I knew that, we really needed to go a bit deeper. And for me, I could see that there were inequities that existed in the system and that there were some things that weren't right around the exploitative labour practices that were quite prevalent in the industry. And so I knew that, people were wanting something a bit more, and it would be quite powerful to really put ourselves in a position where we gave people the opportunity to find that mana, that respect, that dignity, and their power at work, because there is dignity in every job, and we really believe that. So it's been really cool to see the workforce really resonating with it, and actually on the flip side, see food producers, growers, pack houses flock to join us on our mission. So it's been really cool.
Awesome. I love that aspect of it. That's what was one of my favourite things as we ran through the program.
Thank you.
So in my experience, when you're building a marketplace, there's always one side that is significantly harder than the other. So which side of the marketplace have you found challenging, and how are you getting through it?
Yeah, we always knew that the worker side was going to be the most challenging side. That's, we see the headlines, where are all the pickers, there's a big labour shortage everywhere globally. And so we knew that was going to be a massive challenge, and it absolutely was. On our Startmate journey, we were averaging onboarding 38 workers a week, and we were trying our hardest. We were like, what are we going to do? How are we going to get these workers? We've got all these food producers, these huge enterprise growers were signing up. They were like, yes, we love this, but we couldn't get the workers. And just last week, we were sitting at about 500 workers. Last week we flew in some TikTokers, and these guys are masterclass at what they do. And once we launched that campaign, we had 300 workers sign up really quickly, and we've been seeing 100 sign up every day, and it's just taken off. So it's amazing. We've found the magic and how we can layer that supply on. So we're so happy.
Yeah, and straight through the Startmate goals on both sides of the marketplace.
Crushed it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chris and Candice. It's been awesome to hear more about your journey with JobLoads, Candice, and we'll wrap the session there. We'll be heading over to CodeLingo next, so watch that session notification. Cheers.
Thanks.
I'm Jess, I'm a software engineer, and I started CodeLingo to solve the technical debt crisis. It costs global GDP $3 trillion. The root cause of technical debt is in the fact that collaboration in software development is fundamentally broken. It's surprisingly hard to do things you'd probably take for granted. Let's say you and I were devs on the same team, and we are working remotely, and your name is Sue. I want to check with you about a piece of code I'm updating. I'm updating the runner func. Can you check the command calls? Sorry, which one? In GoOracle. GoOracle? Wait, which repo are you in? Can't find the file. Hang on, I'll find it on GitHub. Wait, which repo are you in? Can't find the file. Hang on, I'll find it on GitHub. Got it. What have you changed the command to? Hang on, I'll make a gist. Does it make sense to use the run command, or should your runner class handle this? Where do you call write running? Can you create a whip PR, just so I can see the rest of your code? We're about 10 minutes in and haven't even started talking about the guts of the problem. Our conversation is spread across comments in Slack, gists, and PRs. This makes it really hard for anyone to follow along. Eventually, I make a PR to tie off my work. But Dan spotted the PR. He says all the old runner code is redundant because of the code he's just merged. I've basically just wasted the past day. So, back to the drawing board I go, and the whole cycle starts again. This time, let's use CodeLingo notebooks. I'm updating the runner func. Can you check the command calls? Sorry, which one? I select my code, click share snippet, and paste through the link. Sweet, I see how you've got it all hanging together. I left my comments in there. Oh, did you see Dan's comment on your notebook? He must have been pinged because your notebooks overlapped. His code's replacing all the old runner code. Sweet, well that just saved me a day's work. Come by the booth for a live demo. Notebooks allows teams to collaborate in a way never before possible. You really need to see it. We went into Startmate with 2 monthly active users and came out with 200. We thought, what's a demo day without a launch? So today, we're launching the paid SaaS. This is actually just the start. Notebooks are the wedge to understand the deeper issues in the code of our customers. They give us an in-house understanding of project-specific issues that companies are facing. This is the foundation of offering future products which target those issues. Join us as we scale up collaboration in software teams and tackle technical debt right at.
Hi everybody, I'm Ross Stanley, one of the 4 mentors working with Jesse and Ben from CodeLingo over the past 12 weeks. Jesse.
Hey, I'm Jess, founder of CodeLingo, and had the pleasure of working with Ross and Zach and Christian, and it's been awesome.
Cheers. So Jesse, I love seeing the story you've been telling us as mentors in the time that we've been together about the importance of collaboration and software development being honed into that video that we've just seen. And so as you'd expect and as you are accustomed to, I have some questions. So how, can you tell us how and how often you and your team are actually using CodeLingo to write the code base that comprises CodeLingo?
Okay, I'm going to see if I can share my screen in 1 second. Hopefully you can see this. This was literally yesterday where we did a rename from playbooks to notebooks. So the 11th hour, I'm saying, hey, Dan, can you replace a subdomain to playbooks? Dan's going, I have no idea how to start with that. Ben goes, here's a playbook, and we're off and running. So we have literally been using this every day from the prototype right up to this interview.
I've seen, cheers Jesse, I've seen a lot of interaction happening on the chat on the side from people saying literally this is the problem we're having right now. So the product's finished, ready to go?
We're launching today, so you would have seen like a lot of numbers coming out of Startmate. Our numbers are small, so 200 to 200. The subtext there is product market fit. So we intentionally didn't focus on scale. We wanted to get the fit right. So we've been focusing on the UX and the UI, doing a lot of qualitative and quantitative engagement with the market. And today we're launching. So today the scaling up journey starts.
Nice one. Hey, so with the rise of these consumer quality kind of SaaS tools for business that we've been seeing more and more often, we see that more often than not, the software procurement decisions are actually made at the level of the user, that person who falls in love with a tool and advocates it for it within a company. How do CodeLingo plan to harness that kind of natural virality as a growth tactic?
Yeah, love this question. So this is my passion. So we've identified software engineers, SREs, and security analysts as really our target. The interesting thing about their work and just development work in general is it's inherently collaborative and viral. So you'd see a lot of dev tools out there that smooth out the friction of little problems here and there, and they go very, very viral very quickly, but they just solve these one lines of problems. This is the first time you've seen a notebook interface. So think about it like Notion for developers, and essentially you'll have those blocks, and those blocks are like those little dev tools, but suddenly you have a knowledge sharing interface that can be shared across the whole organization. You can pick up the doc and share it up into the C-suite as well as the other devs. I think we're out of time.
Thanks, Jesse. Thanks, Ross. Kate is up next.
Hi, I'm Kim Henson.
And I'm Jason Atkins, and we're co-founders of Cake. Cake's a fast-growing SaaS company that's already helping Australia's best startups and over 20,000 investors to raise capital and manage their employee option plans.
Every founder knows the process of raising capital or issuing options to employees is expensive and complicated. With Cake, founders can quickly set up their existing cap table in the cloud. They can invite their lawyers and advisors to the platform who can review and amend standard documents or upload their own. New investor or employees can review the relevant due diligence documents. Our unique contract engine automatically sends the right contract with the right details in the correct format, whether it's a company, trust or individual, and it can be signed instantly. Investors or employees can easily track their equity ownership or options. Cake does in minutes what normally takes days or weeks.
Cake has taken something that I find quite complicated and made it super easy.
Cake's monthly fees range from $29 to $239 based on the number of shareholders or option holders. And it's working. In a huge global market, we are growing at 28% month on month. Cake's competitors don't have a streamlined workflow with an integrated contract engine, whereas Cake delivers a superior product and you simply sign up with a credit card. Kim Hansen and his product and engineering team have helped the best companies in the world. Cake's product is proven in the Australian market. Now we are ready to take on the world.
Our software removes the friction and pain with equity for startups, so founders can focus on creating a better tomorrow for all of us.
If you're keen to join us on this incredible journey, get in touch.
Gotta love that voiceover. Hey everyone, my name's Christian, and I was lucky enough to be on the squad with Cake Equity over this accelerator cohort. I'm joined by Jason and Kim, co-founders of Cake Equity. I'm gonna jump straight in. Guys, you already have some large global competitors, so is this a big enough market to grow another billion-dollar company?
Yeah, that's true. There are really big companies like Carter worth $7 billion US. They're mostly in the US though. Out of Australia, we see companies like Computershare and Link. They're also multi-billion-dollar companies. However, they're very much enterprise sales companies. We are super inspired by companies like Atlassian and Slack and Canva. They enter the markets in a different way, where they're really focusing on building products that people and their customers love, and using a product-led growth strategy. At Cake, we've adopted the growth-led strategy, and it's working really well for us. And these companies, the Atlassian, as we saw with Canva with the huge valuation, they become even bigger than their enterprise incumbents. At Cake, we can already see now a clear path to how we are the software that will power most races and option plans globally. And that's definitely a multi-billion-dollar opportunity.
Awesome. Love the recent focus on product-led growth. And I think it's been a big year for you guys. Your growth is looking really great. So what's next?
That's perfect timing. Yeah, look, obviously a huge year for us. We've been growing so fast. We just hit 20,000 investors. So yeah, looking forward to 100,000 investors. We're adding round modeling to the product really soon, which is exciting. And of course, we need to keep our 20% month-on-month growth going as long as possible. And our global expansion will help with that. Practically, we're currently raising a $2.5 million round. We've got $2 million committed. So we should have that closed in the next month. And then, yeah, our expansion's next. So we've been researching and preparing for that for 12 months. And it's really accelerated during Startmate, just due to the awesome network and customer focus and all the learnings we've had. So yeah, we're super excited to get started with that and add some great new team members too to help us out.
Thank you so much, Christian, Jace, and Kim, for this awesome session. Everyone who's tuning in, you can, of course, go to our arena and chat with the Cake team directly. Right now, we're heading into a break, and we have some fun surprises in store, as well as more updates from the Startmate team. So jump into that link, or you can circulate the lounge or the arena while you have some time. Cheers.
Hi everyone, we now have a 15-minute break, but before we kick off, two things. Firstly, our technology partner AWS is offering 5,000 credits to all founders attending the event today. If you have any questions, find Dan in the AWS social lounge. And secondly, we're running a social media competition. If you want to visit our Twitter or our LinkedIn, all the instructions are there, but essentially you just tag us, use the Startup Demo Day hashtag and post about the event, and you'll go in the running to win our prize pack. I'm now going to hand over to Bacco.
Now let me introduce our surprise guest, Lil Green. Lil Green is a singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist from Sydney. She's also one of the many musicians on Muso, a marketplace which helps event organizers book artists for gigs. And you guessed it, they're Startmate alumni company from the 2019 cohort. And notably, Lil Green was actually one of the first Sydney artists on the Muso platform and actually came to the Startmate office for an onboarding session back when the Muso team was doing everything manually. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Lil Green, who's going to play us an original song and a cover. Over to you.
Woo! Yay! Hello. This is strangely nerve-wracking because I can't see you guys. But I hope you're having a good day. Thanks for having me. I'm actually feeling a bit too nervous to do the cover first. So I'm going to start with the original. This is a song I wrote about my water bottle, and this has been through the journey with me and Muso as well. This was always Alan's favorite song. He'd always go, play Zoop Doop. And yeah, anyways, the story behind this song is that I bought a very expensive water bottle from the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival and felt really bad about it. So I thought I would write a song about it and hopefully make back the money in royalties one day, which probably hasn't happened yet. But, you never know what might happen. So this is Zoop Doop. Baby, I spotted you from far away. Yeah, I thought maybe we could start a journey from today, filled with adventures with you around my waist. A green leather binding over your rustic stainless steel with a wooden cap. I sip from you, not before I lick my lips. You beside my hip, bip, 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 bip. I love you even though I can't avoid you. Trust me, I could never stop adoring you, even if I tried to. 'Cause when you come close to my mouth, you make me go do 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 do. Someday we will reminisce together, yeah, about all the memories we shared, about all we care, about what a mighty pair we were, and all the crazy places we went, with a train like around a green leather binding over your rustic stainless steel with a wooden cap. I sip from you, not before I lick my lips. You beside my hip, bip, 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 bip. I love you even though I can't avoid you. Trust me, I could never stop adoring you, even if I tried to. 'Cause when you come close to my mouth, you make me go do 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 do. Cap I sip from you, not before I lick my lips. You beside my hip, bip, 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 bip. I love you even though I can't afford you. Trust me, I could never stop adoring you, even if I tried to. 'Cause when you come close to my mouth, you make me go do 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 do. Yeah. 'Cause when you come close to my mouth, you make me go do 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 do. 'Cause when you come close to my mouth, you make me go. Oh, thank you. I was gonna be like, okay, normally people clap here, but anyways, yeah, thanks for doing that. That was my song Zoop Doop. I've got one more song for you guys. Thank you for allowing me to entertain you. This is the first gig I've ever done in my pajamas, so yay! I'm gonna play a jazz standard. I learnt it from the Ella Fitzgerald recording, and I learnt her incorrect lyrics too. So if anyone knows this song, I'm sorry. I think she performed it live, and she was so good at just improvising on the spot, and like you can't even tell that the words are wrong. If you haven't heard it, definitely go check it out. This is How High the Moon. Somewhere there's music, how faint the tune. Somewhere there's heaven, how high the moon. There is no moon above when love is far away too, until it comes true that you love me as I love you. Somewhere there's music, it's where you are. Somewhere there's heaven, how near, how far. The darkest night would shine, you would come to me soon, till you will have still my heart. How high the moon, how high the moon is the name of this song. How high the moon, though the words may be wrong, we're singing it because you asked for it. So we're singing it just for you. How high the moon, does it touch the stars? How high the moon, does it reach up to Mars? So the words may be wrong to this song. We're asking how high, 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 how high the moon. Baby, Though the words may be wrong to this song, we're asking how high, 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 how high the moon. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your event. Thanks for having me.
Oh, how incredible was that? That was rhetorical. It was fantastic. Wow. Okay. I'm going to hand over to Brady, and he's going to talk to you about First Believers.
That was a tough act to follow. Thanks, Amy from Little Green. I assure you I'm not going to be singing anything like that. I assume a lot of you on this call don't know who I am, besides my mum. Hi, Mum. I'm Brady. I'm one of the brand new team members here at Startmate. I'll be joining Lauren in the investments team. One of the initiatives I'm super excited to be leading is First Believers. This is a 6-month program inspired by Startmate's original mentors. We want to help support more individuals from untraditional backgrounds back founders at the earliest stages. Excuse me. We believe to create a truly diverse and powerful startup ecosystem across Australia and New Zealand, we need more fresh perspectives, thinking and networks coming to the investment table. First Believers is a catalyst for a new generation of investors. If you're thinking of building a career in venture, want to build confidence in making angel investment decisions, or want to better understand the investor's lens, First Believers is a place for you. And so, drum roll, exciting news on that front. We've just opened applications for cohort 1. Right now, you can learn more about this amazing opportunity and apply directly at startmate.com. or feel free to come and chat with me, Brady, at the virtual after party. And sorry, I just realized I was on recording that whole time and I was dancing to the song, so I apologize.
We all loved it. I think the audience was even looking for a twirl there from you, Brady. Following on from Brady on First Believers, as I was mentioning at the very beginning, Startmate wants to be serving the entire kind of life cycle of startups. So in Startmate already, we have those beautiful flywheels inside the Startmate family. Within the programs, where you've got founders becoming mentors, becoming investors, and investing back into the founders. But you also have the fellowship side, from fellows joining startups, becoming coaches, and then again coaching those fellows. And the other beautiful thing we see at Startmate is that you've got those flywheels across the programs as well. So fellows are becoming, joining Startmate alumni are becoming first believers and investing back into those cohorts again. So we've seen that magic happen across all of our programs now, which is why every single one of us loves what we're doing here at Startmate. The part which Startmate does exceptionally well, though, is actually aligning everyone's incentives to reach the right outcome. And one way we do that is actually through funds. So mentors invest their personal money into each accelerator cohort. But similarly, we're raising right now a small bets fund, which is coupled to what Brady was just talking about, this First Believers program. And the First Believers program, as Brady was mentioning, has been created with diversity at its forefront. And the small bets fund will allow these first believers to make investments in super early stage companies, or even founders before they start a company, before they even have started the company. So it's the idea to give people a chance to invest who have never before had a chance to invest. And secondly, it also taps into this completely different network, which by definition is different and diverse to our traditional networks. So in sum, the Small Bets Fund is $1 million community-led fund designed with diversity at its core to believe in founders before they believe in themselves. The exciting part to me is that it decentralizes and diversifies venture capital. So all of this is non-financial advice. You also have to be a sophisticated investor to invest in the fund itself. The latest actually update from this morning is that we have $740K committed of the $1 million fund. But if you are interested in hearing more, hit me up directly on michael@startmate.com.au. And we still have a minute left. So we can go into any questions. Or back to you, Bronte.
I think let's open it up and see if anyone has any questions.
No, people are asking for Dan's number from you, Brady. I think that was the 12.
We'll see more at the after party. More at the after party.
More at the after party. Yes, please stick around to the end. We will be introducing our after party in a secret location at the very end.
Do you reckon we just wrap it up then and jump straight into Hubwork?
Perfect.
Let's do it. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
As soon as a boat enters the water, organisms start to grow on the hull, drastically affecting performance. For centuries, toxic paints known as antifouling have been the only solution. These paints need to be reapplied every year. They're expensive, they're ineffective, and they still need regular cleaning by divers. Worse still, they're extremely harmful to the environment. I'm Tom Loeffler, Hullbot's CEO. We've designed and built a fleet of low-cost underwater robots which inspect and clean hulls. Underwater robotics is difficult. There's no radar, LiDAR, or GPS. Over 5 generations of working prototypes, we've developed sophisticated software that lets the robot know where it is and what it needs to do. During Startmate, our 12-person team has done over 70 missions to over 40 different boats. We're launching a cleaning service right now, which will generate 1 million ARR within 12 months. With each mission, our robot gets more efficient until we deliver a world with no anti-fouling paint where hulls are always clean.
Hey everybody, I hope you're enjoying Demo Day. My name's Matt and I've been a part of the squad with the Holbot crew, and this is Tom. Hey Tom.
G'day, Matt. How you going?
Excellent. So tell us, why is a clean hull important?
Well, for racing yachts, you simply need it to be competitive. And ideally, the hull is cleaned right before the race. And for powerboats, you can use easily 20% more fuel. And that means if you're a commercial vessel like a ship or a ferry, you're using 20% more fuel per hour.
You're right. So is it only for yachts, or can it do all kinds of boats?
Yeah, of course. All vessels of all sizes use anti-fouling, and they all suffer from the same problems with efficiency. And we're starting with yachts right here in Sydney.
Right. So how many yachts are there in Sydney Harbour?
There's 12,000.
And how many yachts are there around the world?
There are 10 million recreational hulls greater than 10 meters in length stored on water worldwide.
Awesome. And what does it cost to keep those boats clean?
So a 50-foot yacht in Sydney can be spending easily $12,000 a year on anti-fouling paint and hull cleaning by divers.
So if somebody had a hull bot on their boat and it was cleaned every day, what's the actual impact of that?
Right. So for a start, they won't need any anti-fouling paint ever. So Hullbot will save them thousands of dollars in lifting and painting costs every single year and be much better for the environment. And their hull will be perfectly clean every single day.
Awesome. This feels like it's a bit of a game changer. So what else can it do? Is it just hull cleaning?
Yeah, so our first product is a hull cleaning system, and that's based around a low-cost autonomous underwater drone platform. So we've developed a camera-based localization and navigation, and alongside cleaning, we also do autonomous inspections and generate accurate 3D maps. So our technology has diverse applications to commercial ships, aquaculture, and many other industries.
That's awesome. So I know you're raising $1 million and you've already got half of that covered from your existing investors. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the next year and a half look like?
Well, we'll be all over Sydney Harbour cleaning boats with our fleet of underwater robots. We'll be gathering a ton of really valuable data and improving our software every week. And we'll build our first 100 production robots. And they'll be out there cleaning hulls every day within 18 months.
Awesome. And after that, what's next?
After we've built the first low-cost underwater drone platform, well, underwater DJI, disruption, massive global scale.
All the things. Cool. And where can everyone else catch you online and after?
You can check us out at holbot.com and come and see me in the booth. And looking forward to talking to you all. Enjoying Demo Day. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Steve. We're heading over to Ulu next.
Hi, I'm Julia.
And I'm Michael, and we're the founders of Ulu.
Ulu is developing a new ocean material that's carbon negative and able to replace all kinds of plastic. It does three things.
Firstly, Ulu tackles plastic pollution because it's highly compostable and will even biodegrade if it gets into our oceans. Secondly, it fights climate change because Ulu is made from seaweed, which is not only economic, but it also removes a significant amount of carbon dioxide from the environment, more than is emitted in our production process. Thirdly, Ulu is really versatile, produced via fermentation, where we can tweak the process parameters and our material specifications for different applications, from packaging and durable goods to sustainable fibres for clothing, which is an area we're really excited about.
Over the last 3 months, during Startmate, we've made significant progress, turning what was previously a blueprint into reality.
We've commenced discussions with a number of major brands, including Adidas, Quiksilver and Chanel. We're confirming many companies really care about reducing their plastic and climate footprints, but are struggling to find a compelling alternative to fossil plastics. Ulu offers a solution, and we're letting brands not only agree, but that it can provide them with a valuable new weapon to differentiate themselves.
We also made significant progress in the lab. We have moved into a beautiful place, hired an awesome microbiologist, and produced our first biomaterials.
And we are really excited to show you Ulu right here. It's small, but it has the potential to change the world.
In terms of next steps, we aim to optimise our production process before a pilot next year and build out our team to help make it happen.
So please get in touch if you are keen to join us on this mission to revive the world with Ulu.
Hi.
Hey guys. Hey Michael.
My name's Michael, and I've had the absolute privilege of mentoring Julia and Michael over the last 12 weeks. This is a formidable team whose passion and clarity of purpose is undeniably charismatic. There can surely be no more consequential problem to solve than improving the health of the planet that sustains us all. So, without further ado, we've got Julia and Michael, the two co-founders of Ulu. Hey, let's begin with the mission. Why'd you choose this to be your life's work?
Thank you, Michael. So Michael and I really love the ocean, and we strongly believe that Ulu has a massive potential to improve the health of our ocean, our climate, and also our own health. Over the last 10 years, I've been researching plastic pollution, and I came to the realization that to truly solve this problem, we need to develop a new, compelling alternative to fossil plastics at scale. And we think that our material can do that. Firstly, because we can produce Ulu in large volumes by scaling seaweed farming. And also, even more importantly, Ulu is a material that's both marine biodegradable and carbon negative. What it means is that the more Ulu we produce, the more carbon pollution we can remove for our environment, which is quite exciting.
And what makes you confident that businesses will partner with you on this journey?
Thanks, Michael. And during Startmate, really, we met with a number of those major brands who are all very keen to find a way to reduce their plastic and carbon footprint. So the demand's definitely there. Ulu allows them uniquely to do both without compromising on quality, volume, and if things go to plan, cost too. What's also really cool, and I think why businesses are keen at a strategic level, is that they realise Ulu isn't just a commodity either. By replacing plastics with Ulu, brands can really differentiate themselves in the market.
Absolutely. And although the list of achievements during Startmate has been quite long, what are you most proud of, and where are we going from here?
I think firstly, we're really proud of just starting to build those relationships with major consumer brands, and we can now ensure what we're working on in the lab really meets their needs. We've also set up our lab and produced our first biomaterials in 3 months, which is pretty amazing. In terms of next steps, we've just closed a funding round with Main Sequence Ventures and are now focused on reducing our production costs and looking to make a number of key hires. So come and join us.
Incredible. That was amazing, everyone. We're going to wrap it up and we're going to go to Emmy now. But if you have any questions for Michael or Julia, find them in their booth or direct message them. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We all know that our environment is precious and that plastic is causing irreparable damage. We could see that there was a huge disparity between what we were consuming versus the technology being developed around us. We recognised that there was an opportunity to marry these worlds together to create a better future. That's when Great Rat was born. It started with just us, and now we have a team of some of the most talented minds on our side, helping us solve this massive problem.
Currently, we manufacture compostable cling wrap made from food waste, but we're not stopping there. We are designing processes that convert organic waste into plastic alternative solutions. Our products are not only compostable, but soon they'll be marine biodegradable too, so that no matter where they end up, they won't rely on future generations to clean up our mess.
Fantastic. Hi everyone, Eden here, co-founder of 5B and 2020 Startmate alumni, and I've had the pleasure of working with the great rap, fantastic founder team of Julia and Geordie K. Julia and Geordie, what is the long game? What is great rap in 3, 4, 5 years from now?
Yeah, totally. It's like, I mean, we talk about it every day, and it's so obsessed with the sort of future vision. And I think so much of what we're trying to do is, in the immediate sort of term, is create the world's largest stretch wrap manufacturing business. And we're going to use compostable materials to make our products and food waste specifically. So I think, you know, the long-term game is to replace companies like 3M, Visi or Amcor, and essentially slot right in there with getting rid of petroleum plastic once and for all.
Amazing. What blows me away, I mean, we talk about this every time we speak, is that you guys can actually compete on price and manufacturing cost with cling wrap and stretch wrap made from fossil fuels. How is that possible?
Yeah, totally. Like, fortunately, food waste is actually pretty cheap, if not free. So currently we're working with 5 of Australia's largest wineries in designing a process in which we can convert fruit waste into PHA, which is something similar to what Ulu are doing, but we're using with fruit waste instead of seaweed or kelp, which is super exciting as well. So we can bring down the cost significantly at the moment using already existing materials. And in the future, the process that we're using, we're able to create something that is the same as plastic in price, if not cheaper.
Awesome. So I imagine the next 12 months are really critical for you guys as you scale up your manufacturing. How are you going to survive the next 12 months? How are you going to thrive in the next 12 months? And with the fantastic Startmate audience that you've got there, are there any asks of the audience?
Yeah, look, I think, before we started Startmate, we sort of talked about setting up this pilot factory, and we've done that now. And by the end of the year, we hope to have scaled that up internationally. And I think, the network of Startmate has been helped us to do that. And if anyone is sort of listening to us, we just need a team around us that has grown a business really quickly and knows how to do that. That's our plan. So if that's what we ask. If you know rapid growth, we'd love to have a chat to you because that's what we need.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, guys. Awesome work.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michael Leben, and I founded Emmy 4 years ago after spending more than a decade in dysfunctional carbon markets that were simply doing too little to reduce global emissions and mitigate climate change. In the last 18 months, we have witnessed 4 1-in-100-year weather events. Now, these bushfire floods, hailstorms, and rising seas are only going to get worse with climate change. But this is only part of the story. You see, the rapid reduction in global carbon emissions now needed to combat climate change is creating a whole new set of risks. And these carbon risks have the potential to cause far more severe financial damage than weather events over the coming decades. And companies know this, but will only do something when financiers actually make them. Luckily, all major financial institutions are realizing just how much money is now at stake. Problem is, they don't have an easy-to-use tool to understand carbon risk and actually do something about it. With Emmy, they do. You see, we produce the globally consistent Emmy score by benchmarking company carbon and financial data against international climate science targets. Institutional investors can now understand their portfolio exposure to carbon risk and take action with problematic companies to avoid financial loss, whilst also saving the planet. The Startmate journey has been an amazing acceleration. The ecosystem and mentors have refocused us to become the product-led growth company our impact mission requires. And this has led us to smash our customer and product targets and raise the bar on growth and funding goals. Next up for Emmy is our commercial product launch on May the 4th. Be with you. And to close our $1.5 million capital raise to become the global industry standard on carbon risk within 2 years. You're on mute, Doug.
I'm on mute. Sorry about that. Hello, everyone. I'm Doug English. I'm one of the mentors in the Startmate program. Lucky enough to be working with Emmy, and I'm here with Michael, who is the CEO and founder of Emmy. So, Michael, aren't there a lot of ESG solutions out there tackling this? How are you different?
Yeah, thanks, Doug, and hi, everyone. Yeah, so there certainly are a lot of ESG solutions, but they're all really quite qualitative and subjective. And they're often extremely broad and globally inconsistent with black box methodologies that make them more green marketing than investment tools. We see Emmy is different. Everything we do is built around financial risk and grounded in the globally agreed climate science, ensuring objectivity, transparency, and global consistency. After all, capital is globally transportable, so any carbon risk tool needs to be applied in a globally consistent manner. And our process is that transparent, I can actually quickly summarize it now. What we do is we translate complex climate science into 3 distinct and easy to understand global carbon budget risk bands, scored out of 100. We then overlay global economic data to calculate 12 carbon ratios that are in line with each of these risk bands. We also use company financial and carbon data to calculate these same 12 carbon ratios for any listed company. These company ratios are then benchmarked against the global ratios and scored out of 100. We then aggregate the individual ratios and give a final Emmy score out of 100. This produces a consistent and financially diverse carbon risk algorithm which investors can use with confidence to make better investment decisions to avoid financial loss as we transition to a low carbon world.
So the eagle eyes out there would have noticed that you are launching commercially in May, but you're only going to start seeing revenue in the second half of 2021. Why the lag?
So this is a deliberate launch strategy. We're employing a time-based freemium strategy to reduce friction and onboard the majority of Australian institutional investors by August. Because you see, AGM season in Australia generally September, October, November. So we have an opportunity to onboard the majority of the market on extended free trial to get them understanding the product. Then when the AGM season rolls around, they'll move to a fully fledged paid subscription to be able to proactively engage with companies over carbon risk at the AGMs when they need it. And we're also aware that asset owners set budgets in July for external service providers. So by offering them time-based freemium service, we're able to get in front of them in May and June, so we're then included in their budgets post 1 July.
And for those interested in finding out more, how do they get in touch with you?
So either michael.leben@emmy.io or see our website, emmy.io is probably the best way.
Great. You're on mute as well, Ryan.
Perfect. I was just saying, the next session we're going over to Sakona Battery Technologies. Thanks, team.
The world needs to move to a sustainable energy future. This is arguably the most important problem that humanity needs to solve. Over the last 30 years, lithium-ion battery technology has advanced to the point where it is now the leading storage technology, supporting a range of uses, including large-scale renewables and the electrification of transport. However, the energy density of lithium-ion batteries is limiting performance, resulting in multiple issues, including higher upfront costs and lower range for electric vehicles. Sakona is commercializing high-performance battery anode materials that can increase electric vehicle range, whilst reducing the cost and the time it takes to charge. Silicon can store 10 times more charge than traditional graphite. However, silicon expands up to 400%
which causes the anode to fracture and break. Secona's unique graphite silicon anode material solves the technical challenges of adding silicon at a fraction of the cost of competing approaches due to our simple and scalable production process. We are taking multiple products to market, including the binder system, conductive carbons, and active anode materials. Furthermore, we are solving key supply chain issues by taking a leading role in deploying our technology in Europe and North America, thereby disrupting the Chinese concentrated supply chain. Over the last 3 months, Secona has validated our product market fit with several Tier 1 battery producers, signed a MOU with a global chemicals company to commercialize our binder product, and negotiated a transformational joint venture with a Swedish company to deploy our technology at commercial scale into the fast-growing European market. Our next milestone is the commissioning of our 2.5 ton per annum pilot production plant at our site in Wollongong, New South Wales, and leveraging its larger scale production capacity to qualify our materials with global battery producers and conduct larger scale battery testing programs.
Hi there, I'm John Wood, and I'm part of the Secona squad. I'm here with Christian Jordan, who's a freaking awesome entrepreneur and the CEO of Secona, Andrew Minette, who's a fantastic technologist and CTO. All right, Christian, hey, the recent announcements by Tesla and Volkswagen make it really clear that silicon in the anode of the lithium batteries is the new thing, and the important proposition. You've already proven in the laboratory you can meet what they need, and that you can do that with low-cost processes. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, that's 100% correct, John. Our silicon-containing anode materials gives an increase of about 50 to 100% in anode capacity above that of existing graphite anode materials, and this transfers into a significant saving for customers because it increases cell energy density. And the key thing to note is that we can deliver our materials at the exact same cost as existing materials in these batteries. So this all enables the ability for electric vehicles to be cheaper in their upfront purchase costs, and also increase the range of electric vehicles. I think it's also important to note that our production processes are highly scalable and use off-the-shelf equipment, so we can really get into a mass market adoption.
Mate, the performance is proven. You just need to prove now that this carries through to volume production.
Yeah, that's correct. We're really now very focused on commissioning our pilot production plant, which is the next stage of development, and then starting to send materials to customers through the next couple of months and year. And concurrently with that, we'll be generating a lot of data in the operations of the pilot plant that will inform our further engineering and design work for our commercial deployment in commercial plants and subsequent phases.
Christian, China dominates the supply chain for lithium batteries, but I understand that you already have arrangements in place in Europe that's going to set up regional supply chains that are uniquely European production lines.
Yeah, our focus really is on partnering with raw material resource owners, specifically in Europe and North America. And to that end, we've now negotiated a joint venture with a European company to deploy our technology at a commercial scale in Europe, using their raw materials from a fully permitted built graphite mine, and that will be ready to then send the material to European markets.
Amazing. Okay, we have to wrap it up now because we're running over time, but I've seen quite a few questions in the chat. So if anyone has any questions, you can find Christian in his booth or direct message him, or leave your email in the booth function as well. That was amazing. Next up, we have Atlas Shorts. I'm going to end the session and you can all jump in. Thanks, everyone.
Outside of Hollywood, 94.3% of films produced worldwide are by independent filmmakers. That's 9 out of 10 films that do not get a theatrical release. But these films are valuable and embrace distinctive and culturally diverse stories. Atlas Shorts makes it easy for indie filmmakers and content providers to broadcast their films and visual media directly to libraries, teachers, students and patrons globally. We're building a world of curiosity connected by filmmaking and visual storytelling. We work closely with educators to source, match and proactively recommend content with curricula and syllabi, streaming in situ with their LMS. This helps indie filmmakers get paid, and teachers enhance their courses, which attract new students every year. We've acquired a leading Australian university and we're generating 30k in ARR. We currently have 18 pilots with some of the largest universities and colleges who represent over 400,000 teachers and students, and this is only on our janky minimum viable product. Over the past 12 weeks, we've expanded our content offering. We're sponsoring the Atom Awards, Australia's largest student film and photography prize, increasing exposure in a growing K-12 sector. And we've generated 3,000 leads from the top film schools in 65 countries. We are opening our round today, and we are seeking a minimum of $600,000 to complete phase 2 of our product roadmap. We are on a mission to connect the world through shared stories. And over the next 24 months, we're going to do it. So join us on our journey.
What a video. Exciting. Well, hello again, everyone. Just in case I wasn't memorable the first time around, my name's Sasha, and I run the accelerator at Startmate. And I've had the pleasure of working closely with Karim and Bruce over the last 12 weeks as they've been growing Atlas Shorts. So to kick it off, Karim, I'm keen to hear a bit more about how you both came to starting Atlas Shorts. What's the story?
Yeah, thanks, Sasha. So I come from a filmmaking background, and I went to drama school. And in 2012, I was in my first year of drama school, and I made a film with my brother who was in his final year of film school. And that little short film that we made went to the Cannes Film Festival and a number of local and international film festivals. And it was there that I was just enamored by the extraordinary amount of content that's produced annually. And that, got me thinking at the time why there wasn't a sort of centralized repository for all of this material. As the years have progressed, I've become deeply connected to the problem of IP wastage and how we can lengthen the life cycle of a piece of intellectual property and monetize it consistently over time. And so that's what's led us into education. I've also, as a former actor, I've seen some of the most talented people struggling to build a viable, to earn a viable living for themselves. And that's why I'm so passionate and connected to helping pave a pathway towards sustainability in the visual arts.
So, thanks, Karim. Yeah, so I'm from a technology background. I love film as a viewer. I love independent film and independent voices. I spent a lot of time with technology into higher education, and I really see an interesting collision there between visual arts, education, and independent voices.
Such an interesting backstory. Can you maybe talk us through the problem a little bit more that creators are facing when they're trying to get their content into the hands of their audience?
Sure. I think that the education market has typically been run or sort of owned by a number of incumbent suppliers that have been around for many decades. And those suppliers through to the market tend to only represent probably around 6% of the world's global content supply. And that's, there's a statistic at the beginning of our film that's, 94.3% of films produced worldwide outside of Hollywood are by independent filmmakers. I think what's really important is that we open up this market and democratize access for these independent creators who, as we've seen with the proliferation of the creator economy, are starting to rely on these services to control their own distribution. And that, we're hoping, is a really great way of helping them, earn a sustainable living for themselves, and education, as I mentioned earlier, being the market that increases the life cycle of the work that they create.
So interesting. Hi, Lauren.
To say thank you very much to hear about Atlas Shorts and as especially incredible films in your libraries. Dave from the fellowship team. open environment, jump into the lounge and catch up with the likes of crew. Thanks everyone.
Hi everyone, we're at the tail end now, so let's all take a 15-minute breather and then get excited to learn about 6 more incredible startups. Remember, if you have questions about AWS's 5,000 credits available to all founders on this call today, meet Dan in the AWS Social Lounge and he'll answer all your questions. For those sticking around in this break, you're going to hear from the Fellowship Dream Team, which is very exciting. But first, Atlas Shorts, who many of you would have met just before in the session prior, have lent us a video from their collection. It's an LGBTIQ animation film by 2 graduates from Ringley College of Art and Design in the US, Beth David and Esteban Bravo. The film is called A Heartbeat. Let's take a look. That was so beautiful. Wow. Okay. Now I'm going to hand over to Sophia, who's going to tell you a little bit about where the fellowship is headed.
Amazing. Oh, that was so stunning. That was really lovely. Hi, I am Sophia Witherington, and I'm here to give you an update on the fellowship, but not as you currently know it. As well, I want to introduce you to my amazing team members, Cam and Krista, but we'll come back to them in a minute. So, to date, we have had 141 women go through our programs, of which 67% of them are now in jobs or started their own company. We're now on to our 5th cohort, 3 of which have been women only, and we have taken our learnings and baked in some new ambition. We want to move away from being known just for our women only program and instead be the go-to place for any startup hiring or developing their talent. Last year, Mr. Ghosh ran our MVP of a student program, which is now set to scale. And we're taking the ingredients of our program infrastructure, community, and magic, and creating a launch playbook to add new programs under the fellowship umbrella. We want to do this at the rate of 10 new programs a year, and do this while retaining the essence of what makes our fellowships so successful, which is community. So what's our mission statement? The Startmate Fellowship exists to tangibly increase the economic growth generated by startups by systematically removing the bottlenecks to finding exceptional talent and upskilling the leaders of tomorrow. So why are we doing this? Well, more ambitious people equals more opportunity for serendipity. The fellowship's value compounds exponentially with every program and every cohort that we launch. And so more programs and more fellows equal very real network effects. As engagement grows, the community gets smarter, faster to respond, and generates more value. Now, there is something magical about a small and intimate community where one can truly belong. But the true magic and impact comes with the cross-pollination of adjacent programs and operating at scale. This has been made possible by LaunchVic and also all of our amazing sponsor companies, as well the coaches that we have that come back and support our fellows through the program. I'm now going to hand over to Krista, who is now running the Women Only Fellowship program and doing such a sensational job. She will give you an update on how the current cohort is going. So Krista, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sophia. And we have some fellows in the audience as well. Hello, my fellows. As you all know, my name is Krista, and I run the Startmate Fellowship for Women, a 2-month program fast-tracking ambitious operators into exceptional startups. The mission of the fellowship is to equalise the playing field for women in startups. And we do this by giving talented women the tools, connections, and confidence to join some of the best startups in Australia and New Zealand. It's an intense community-driven program where fellows find their tribe, connect with others, and gain a backstage pass to world-changing companies. On the startup side, the fellowship is a place to find top-notch talent in unexpected places and to supercharge their companies with the hungry, not the proven. As Sophia said, over 140 women have joined the Startmate Fellowship, and almost 70% of fellows have landed their dream job in a startup. That's over 90 women who have taken the leap to join a company or build their own. This year, we're set to scale our impact even further. In 2021, we'll launch 200 women into the startup ecosystem, which will make a tangible impact on gender equality in tech. We have just kicked off our Autumn 21 cohort, which is supported by LaunchVic, 11 Epic sponsor companies, and 100 coaches who are senior leaders in the startup community. Over the next 2 months, our fellows will undergo a period of fast-track growth to build their confidence, accelerate their networks, and seize opportunities at game-changing companies. 3 weeks in, and we have learned from some of the brightest founders, investors, and operators who have built iconic companies against the odds. For fellows, the program also offers an opportunity to build authentic connections and join a community for life. And from my perspective, this is the stuff of magic. This is what makes Startmate really unique. And the exciting thing is we're only just getting started. So hopefully my fellows are making some noise in the chat. I love them heaps. If you're a startup founder who is looking to hire some awesome talent, reach out to us after demo day because we can get you sorted. And over to you, Cam.
Thanks, Krista, and nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Cameron, and I run the Student Fellowship. So the Student Fellowship is a program which aims to provide university students exposure to working in startups and startups with an amazing group of individuals who can contribute to their success. The first iteration of the program, launched over the recent summer break, resulted in 20 students landing paid internships, of which 11 continue to work in their company today. And 5 of these 20 even ended up being hired, some turning down job offers in big corporate after they experienced the fulfillment, personal growth, and exhilaration that comes with being part of a startup. So we are excited to announce that we are now scaling the student fellowship with the help of LaunchVic, where at least 300 students per year will get the opportunity to be part of the program. So the program will consist of a 2-week virtual bootcamp where students will hear from the very best entrepreneurs across Australia and New Zealand and provide an amazing opportunity for personal growth. And following the bootcamp, students will have the opportunity to join a startup in a paid internship whilst being coached by those further down the track. So we really see students and startups going hand in hand. So students are looking for an experience to grow, and what better place than the fast pace of this environment. And startups are constantly looking for the best talent to join their organizations. And for those who recently hired in our last cohort, I'm sure they'll be able to confirm this with the determination, energy, and creativity that students bring to the table. So if you are a student or no one who is curious about the prospect of joining a startup, no matter your background, we would love for you to apply before applications close on the 25th of April for our winter cohort. And if you are a startup who wants to take on some of these talented interns, fill in our expression of interest to gain access to these amazing students. So both of these links will be distributed after the event tonight. Currently, we have had 200 students apply and 15 companies sign an expression of interest. And if you believe in what we're doing, I would love to be in contact to see how we can continue to bring the vision of the Student Fellowship to life. Thanks. And we hope you really have enjoyed your evening so far and enjoy the rest of it to come.
Amazing. And that brings our break to the end. Next up, we have entry level. We're going to end the session. I'll see you all there.
Today, the world is run by people. People make amazing products, solve the world's biggest problems, and help businesses, governments, and countries operate. However, technology is quickly ramping up, and with the rate of innovation growing faster and faster, it threatens to leave billions of people behind.
That's a problem. By 2030, 42% of the skill sets required by the workforce will drastically change. We need to reskill 1 billion people by then. And yet, there are no systems out there to handle such an effort.
People don't know what path they should follow, and sometimes they don't even know where they want to go. Imagine a world where people could harness the power of technology to discover, reskill, and attain new roles that they never even knew they had the aptitude, skills, or interest for. That's where we come in. Entry level is pioneering skills or interest for. That's where we come in. Entry level is pioneering the reskilling revolution. Our team has done this for years, manually helping thousands of people with this process. The new entry-level system uses mentor-driven virtual work experiences to fast-track people's knowledge and skills to help them dive into new roles quickly. A 30-day reskilling engine where participants have a safe space to learn with context, build real projects, and work alongside a driven cohort. We have found a real need and we're solving it. We launched in February, and within 8 days we had over 10,000 signups without a single advertising dollar. With 5 times the completion rates of traditional e-learning systems and an NPS of 46, we're making a significant impact on our participants at scale. Our waitlist is overflowing, our systems work, and now it's time to scale to 1 billion people. We raised our pre-seed round in November with Blackbird, and we're already preparing for our seed round in a few months' time. This is all in an effort to help us ramp up the number of programs we have and scale our user base. Welcome to the future of work. Welcome to entry level.
Cool. Hey everyone, I'm Dan, a member of the entry level squad alongside Lauren Capelin, Chloe Harmon, Rob Liu. We've been working with RJ Prakash, who I'd like to quickly introduce now. So, hey RJ.
Hey Dan, thanks for the introduction.
Yeah, all good. So, working with you over the past few months, you've been super focused on making sure your initial cohort of participants have had amazing learning and development experiences as like a number one priority. But I guess, yeah, it'd be interesting to see your views and what you're saying around how we can, commercialize this business.
Yeah, for sure. So I think there's a couple of areas where we monetize along that pipeline. So initially we just monetize with direct sales, so people have to pay to come into our programs. We also look at monetizing off the back end of that, which is, can we get our people recruited? So we charge a percentage fee to get them recruited. And we have a couple of participants we're kind of fielding out at the moment. And then we have some bulk license fees that we do with universities and things like that here and there. But the most interesting one that we're launching today, as of 9 a.m. this morning, is a way for people to show their support in a unique way through digital collectibles. So Dan, you got sneakers in the back. I collect Pokemon cards. People are into collectibles. And so we're giving people a way to support the mission of reskilling and billion people whilst also creating digital collectibles. So I'll quickly jump into here. So we launched the entry-level NFT. The way it works very simply, you buy tokens, and if you help us reskill a certain amount of people, we mint a unique NFT artwork for you to keep. So there are different milestones. You can hit 10, 100, 1,000. We'll have a couple more for 10,000, a million, so on and so forth. So that's the one we launched this morning. I got a couple of big crypto people behind it. So if you're interested in that, you should definitely check it out. That's just one of the other ones we're trying out at the moment.
Sweet. NFTs, so hot right now. So get on the bandwagon and the hype train. So the other thing, you've been looking at is, the 30-day reskilling engine that you're powering with entry level. So, what actual learning and development, tangible takeaways do the students get out of the courses?
Yeah, so I can answer that by giving a bit more context as like how we came up with these 30-day reskilling engine. So I used to work as a recruiter for a company called Crossover in the States. We had about 100 to 150,000 applicants per month, and we had to whittle it down all the way to about 100, even 50 people at times, and get them into our positions. What happened was that we had amazing talent, but 99% of people just hated our guts because they didn't get the job and they just were had a really bad vibe about us. So what I was thinking was can we make recruitment into an educational experience? Can we help people reskill in 30 days, but also extract insights that we can use to then sell to recruiters? So that's the business. That's the way that we do it. So we do real work projects, and Ryan's going to cut me off, but people work on real work projects and then get a portfolio at the end of it. That's basically
awesome.
I'm done.
Well, if you want to hear more from AJ and Dan,
yeah, come chat to me.
Our next session is milestone pay. Cheers, Dan.
Thanks, guys.
Milestone Pay helps contractors and agencies save time on their admin tasks by making contracts, customer communication, invoicing and payments seamless and easy.
As freelancers ourselves, we've been stung by clients in the past, and we're not the only ones. We found that contractors and consultancies alike struggle with keeping their deals fair and transparent.
So we built Milestone Pay, an all-in-one business toolkit for you and your clients. By taking a collaborative approach to delivering projects in concise chunks, we reduce the risk for service providers and clients in any transaction.
Using Milestone Pay, you can collect customer details, track and bill your contracts and invoices, deliver on your projects, and collaborate with your clients all in one place.
Between 2015 and 2019, the contractor economy in Australia grew ninefold to 6.3 billion, with an increase of 32% in 2019 alone.
And the most interesting fact is that over 50% of freelancers and small business owners admit that they don't have any formal contracts in place with their clients. To date, we've helped over 140 customers create more than 200 contracts on the platform, which has led to over $180,000 transacted on Milestone Pay. Since the beginning of the Startmate program, we've developed 3 new features, including forms, invoicing, and a mini CRM.
Our next milestone is to actively grow our community into a powerhouse of productivity.
And our growth so far wouldn't be possible without our amazing team.
Milestone Pay is the quickest way to manage projects, onboard clients, send invoices, and get paid all in one place.
We're helping businesses nurture their client relationships and take the risk out of doing business with our unique Milestone Pay functionality.
The global contract economy is growing rapidly, and we're building a tool that supports the community of people that we're part of and deeply believe in.
Don't miss this opportunity to become part of our journey.
Hi everyone, I'm here with James Claridge and Ryan Hamby, and we're going to launch straight into questions. So what market are you going after?
So we're going after pretty much anyone who provides a service to a small business. But really, we're hyper-focused on digital natives because we ourselves are digital natives at the moment. But that being said, we're being approached by people from pretty much every industry, from developers to property developers, and even we have a materials testing lab in South Australia who uses our platform at the moment.
Great. And this is a big important question. Why are you the right people for this?
Yeah, so James and I have been contracting and working in digital agencies and products for our entire lives, basically, as our entire adult lives. So over the last sort of 10, 15 years. And together, we've worked together for 5 years, and we've realized that there are just so many issues in this space, and we've had the problem ourselves. And with all of the problems that go on in the contracting space, the least of your worries needs to be payments. You want to just be focusing on your work and delivering for your clients. And that is what we are trying to give back to people, their time, so that they can get things done.
Yeah, great. And why did you build this business?
That problem hit pretty close to home with us, actually, and it was really the straw that broke the camel's back, where we ourselves got into a bit of a sticky situation with a client who was overseas, and we have no legal recourse to get, and to pursue the rest of the money. And that, we tried our best for that client, and we kept trying, and despite delivering what we agreed to, he would ask for more and more. And at a certain point, freelancers, we just had to say no, because that's taking time away from actually doing work that will get us paid to pay our rent and keep our lives going. So it's really an important problem to pretty much everyone I know, and pretty much everyone Ryan knows who runs their own business, is making sure that that money comes through the door eventually. Is better than it never coming through at all, and wasting that time chasing down that money is just not worth the cost of business, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, cash is king, right?
It is when you have to pay rent.
So that's kind of quick, 3 questions. If you don't mind me asking, what does the next 12 months look like for you? What are the plans?
Yeah, so we've got sort of big ambitions of opening up what we currently do for Australians all around the world. Currently, Australian citizens can take payments from anyone, anywhere, but we're starting to expand to the US, the UK, and New Zealand firstly, and then the rest of the world following that. We just want to open this up, and we realize it's a global problem, and there are just millions and millions of people that have this issue, and we want to solve that for them.
Amazing. Okay, well, to everyone tuning in, if you have any questions, find Ryan or James in their booth or direct message them. There's a lot of ways to contact people in ME. And thank you so much for tuning in. And thanks, guys.
Thanks, Monty.
Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Andy.
And I'm Farhad.
We are the co-founders of Kill It Health, a platform enabling a world where the next cure for cancer is available twice as fast.
Clinical trials are the cornerstone for discovering new cures. Delays in trials cost human lives and inflates the cost of your medication. Efficient trials require long-term and continuous contribution from patients, doctors, and pharma. Current data systems perpetuates a broken cycle that keeps everyone in the dark.
For the very first time, our platform is allowing patients, doctors, and pharma to customize and build their own suites of data capture and analytics tools. We have completely overhauled the clinical trial process by providing these tailored values to attract and retain all the 3 players to create a positive feedback loop.
We started in neurology at St. Vincent's Hospital in 2019. Since then, we have engaged with different therapeutic areas and trial centers across Australia and generated more than $100,000 of revenue. This response was incredible, as it came with overwhelmingly positive feedback.
During Startmate, we created a better outreach strategy and are currently providing services to 3,000 patients and 8 trial centers. We aim to reach 85,000 patients and 20 centers by the end of 2022 with $1.5 million in ARR.
We are solving a complex and multidisciplinary problem, and our pre-seed round helped us bring great people on board. We invite you to be part of our journey. We need your help to keep growing and completely change clinical trials to help millions of people around the world access new treatments faster.
All right. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Zach Islam. I'm one of the mentors working with the Key Lead team. So excited to be joining both Farhad and Andy. So great video, really awesome video. So we've got a couple of questions now that I get to put you in the hot seat. Farhad, I think I'm going to go to you first. What is the biggest problem that you're solving?
Yeah, thank you so much, Zach. So actually, we are solving the delays and inefficiencies in clinical trials. Just imagine if we had the vaccine 6 months earlier, or even just 1 month earlier. But what you might ask, what caused these delays? So it's finding suitable candidates for trials. That's the recruitment part. But then also patient non-adherence and dropout throughout the trial. And then the analytics at the end of the trial. These are all the main contributors that contribute to make all these delays. So if we have a high quality and big scale data set, we can easily solve this problem, because you can imagine that finding a suitable and adherent patient would be as easy as click of a button.
Excellent. Andy, I'm going to go to you next. I saw your flywheel. Can you elaborate a bit more on that flywheel? Who are your buyers versus who are your users?
Yeah, that's a good question, Zach. You saw the problem is getting high quality and large scale data sets. Now, in order to get this type of data sets, both patients and doctors have to contribute data. And also there should be a good way of storing and accessing this data digitally in the future. So what we have built is a fully customizable platform that makes it very easy and engaging for both of these parties to contribute data. You can think about it as a multi-sided ecosystem where patients and doctors are the direct users, but also doctors themselves are the influencers because they are encouraging the use of the system to the patients, because it saves them a lot of time and it provides good insights. In terms of the flywheel, the more doctors are in the platform, they bring more patients to it. And then the pharmaceutical companies come into play here. They are the sponsors. They pay for the insights because they need to expedite trials and get their treatments to market faster. So the more patients that are in the system, the richer the medical insight becomes, which in turn brings more pharma, and more pharma brings more doctors, doctors who are actually running the trial themselves. And that creates the flywheel that you mentioned.
Got it. We're going to have to keep this one quick. How do you differentiate against your competitors?
So I would just do a very short answer to this, is that our product is both a platform and also a medical insight that is coming from the vast amount of data that we are able to capture. So the uniqueness of the platform is its customizability. And I can't see Lauren coming up here, so I'm just going to ask everyone to get in touch with us if you're interested to hear more about this. You can reach us on our emails or come to our booth.
Thank you so much, Farhad, Andy, and Zach, for this awesome session on KeyLead Health. We just have a few more sessions to go, everyone. We're going to kick off with Resus Right next session, and followed by Telecare Australia and Milk Drop as our very lucky last. So don't go anywhere. Keep tuning in to the rest of Startmate Demo Day. We'll see you in the next session.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michael Lang. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Telecare. We are a digital health platform that makes seeing a medical specialist easier and more cost-effective than ever before.
Have you ever had to see a specialist? Maybe a dermatologist for a rash, or a pediatrician for your kids. Chances are you had to wait several weeks or months, paid a hefty out-of-pocket fee, and had little transparency throughout the entire process. Telecare solves this problem. Patients can now see a specialist in 1 to 2 weeks, often bulk billed, meaning $0 out of pocket, and receive ongoing holistic support through our unique virtual care software. Telecare facilitates seamless communication between GPs, specialists, and patients, and has allowed thousands of patients across Australia to access specialist care no matter where they are, their financial circumstances, or their health literacy. In the short span of 20 months, we have grown to be one of Australia's largest digital specialist and allied health providers, covering 30 specialties with over 900 medical practitioners. We continue to grow 20% month on month and are leading the way in the digitalisation of healthcare. In the next 5 years, we hope to be Australia's largest allied health and specialist medical provider. To find out more, please reach out or join us at our virtual booth.
Hi everyone, I'm Rob. I've been really fortunate to get to know Michael and Lena as part of the squad over the last few months and hear more about their work with telecare. Michael, welcome, and it's a pleasure to introduce you this afternoon.
Thanks,
You've
Rob.
been super persuasive in helping me understand that a virtual platform of specialists is a really important component for the future of the Australian healthcare ecosystem. But I want to start by asking you a little bit about you and telecare. A lot of people are taking on health tech at the moment. What's special and unique and different about the way that telecare is thinking about the problems?
Thanks, Rob. I think one of the unique points is our business model. So telecare provides specialist services. So we're often dealing with patients with chronic illnesses or patients with more than one comorbidity. So that means our platform has to integrate with not only providing the specialist care, but also GPs, diagnostic companies such as pathology and radiology. And the result of this, telecare app actually provides a better holistic service and collaborative care throughout the patient journey.
That's fantastic to hear, Michael.
Yeah,
Tell me a little bit more about how you've involved clinicians in the journey as well, because I know that's been really important to you.
Yeah, and I think secondly, building a company in such a highly regulated area, we recognized that we needed clinical support from the get-go and doctors to be a part of the journey. So from our co-founders, we have two other doctors, Dr. Sia and Dr. Wen, who are our co-founders, as well as we've built a advisory board. So with our chair being Dr. Robert Mason, the ex-General Secretary of the Australian Medical Association, and even our seed round of investors are the actual doctors who've been working on telecare. So almost exclusively out of our 20 or so investors are the doctors who are practicing with us every day and seeing patients all around Australia.
That's awesome, Michael. I'm sure they're bringing a lot of value to how you're thinking about the platform. Now, I know Startmate's been amazing for you, and I know that your metrics have gone through the roof. So why don't you just tell us a bit more about kind of the current state of the business and what are the metrics that you use to help you understand how you're progressing?
Yeah, so we track four major indicators. So first of all, it's the number of specialists, the number of GPs, the number of consultations, and the number of referrals. So big thanks to Startmate. Throughout the 3 months in Startmate, we've been able to increase our annual revenue to $2 million, over $2 million. And between the months of February and March, we've increased our referral rate from our referring GPs by 54%. So big thanks to everyone from Startmate and helping us, and Rob and the rest of the team.
That's great to hear, Michael. Thank you. I think, again, you've been really clear that this is a future component of the ecosystem. I think the big question for you guys is whether you can get there first, and your progress through this program and what comes next, I think, is really representative of an amazing opportunity you've got in front of you. So congratulations, and looking forward to keep watching your progress.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. It's an absolute pleasure working with you as well.
Thanks, everyone. That was fantastic. Next up, we have Resus Wright. So let's all jump into that session. If you want to speak to Michael about anything, you can find him in his booth, I imagine, after this, or send him a direct message. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Rob.
Breathing. A process so automatic, we normally don't notice we're doing it, and yet fundamental to life. But for a baby being born, beginning to breathe is the most difficult transition they've ever made. 10 million babies each year can't do it on their own and need ventilation to help them make the transition. Incredibly, clinicians are still forced to rely on subjective judgment to tell if they're delivering effective ventilation at birth. This can lead to traumatic injury to the baby's lungs if they deliver too much air, or brain injury if they deliver too little. My name's Matt Bastard, and alongside Matt Crott and a world-leading clinical research team, we founded Resus Wright to fundamentally improve this process. We've developed a monitor that we believe has the potential to become the new gold standard in resuscitation. It's designed to help clinicians in the critical minutes after a baby's born. By ensuring they're resuscitating correctly, we aim to prevent brain and lung injury and reduce the need for more invasive interventions. Over the past 3 months, we've used the device with over 200 clinicians. We've collected preliminary data that shows it improves the effectiveness of volume delivery by up to 86% and increases the confidence of 84% of clinicians. We've just raised a seed round of $700,000, which will fund the release of our monitor for use in trainee clinicians before we get it certified for clinical use. We've already found an Australian distributor who's been waiting for a product like this. Over the next 12 months, we want to get our educational device into 25 leading hospitals. Every year, 2 million babies around the world die or are left with a disability in their first few moments of life. Please get in touch with us to help change these babies' lives from their first few breaths.
You're on mute, Alan.
So bad. I didn't have my You're on Mute t-shirt on. I'm sorry, guys. Hi, everyone. My name's Alan Jones. I was actually looking at a screenshot that I had just taken seconds ago, and I was pressing on the unmute button on the screenshot instead of actually in the browser window. Oh, boy, I'm such an old man. Guys, Matt and Matt from Resource Right, we first met in the Remarkable Accelerator program. And that was very early days for Resource Right. You're still a very small team, although you have just raised a 700K round. One thing we all know about medical hardware is there are huge, lengthy regulatory delays in getting products like this approved. How long are we going to have to wait to see you get your product to market?
Yeah, so the goal for us is absolutely to be at every birth. We want one of our devices to be wherever it's needed around the world, at every resuscitation. But if we even take a step back, the really exciting thing about the technology that we're developing is that its first application is actually in the training and education sphere. And what this means is that we don't actually need to go through regulatory approvals to get our technology out there to start solving a part of that problem and start ensuring people are being trained with the skills that they need. So there's around 20 million nurses and midwives around the world, 60,000 in Australia, and almost the trend is for almost every one of these to be annually certified and trained in neonatal resuscitation. But the problem is, because it's done subjectively, they can leave resuscitation training without the skills that they actually need to take into a clinical situation. So we see an opportunity to modernize this process and provide an objective set of data so that people leave resuscitation training knowing that they can go into that critical care situation. And we're looking to launch our initial product in August of this year, which is the training device, before then repackaging the technology into a clinical device, and that will be coming out in the next 18 months or so.
So instead of a decade or so to get to market, we can actually be saving lives by improving the training of resus technicians by the end of this year.
That's it. That's the plan.
That's awesome. You've just raised, and you're growing fast. How much do you think you might need to raise in your next round, and roughly when do you think that might need to happen?
So very excitingly, we've just raised a seed round of 700,000, and that's allowed us to build out our team from the founders, make our first few hires, and that's going to allow us to release that first educational product into market. It's also going to give us the runway that we need to develop the clinical prototype. And once we've got that into the educational device into leading hospitals and proven demand,
Tim, I'm going to have to jump in there, sorry. If you want to hear more, you're going to have to go to the booth.
Come and link up.
We have our final team, Milk Drop, next. So can everyone get over there now? Great work, guys.
Cheers. Thanks, Ron.
See you in the booth.
Thanks, Alan.
This is a breast pump. For every 10 women using one of these, 7 will have pain or discomfort at the nipple and 8 will feel like a cow. Why? Let's take a look and see how it works. You put your breast in a cone, turn on the pump, it sucks the nipple into the shaft, squeezes out drops of milk into the container. Now the internet is weirdly sanitized about this. This is what it actually looks like when your nipple's in it. It's no wonder women don't love using them. Now don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for this pump. It helped me feed my daughter when she couldn't feed well herself. I just think the design needs to be completely turned on its head, and it turns out I'm not alone. At Milk Drop, we've spoken with hundreds of women, and they all say roughly the same thing that I did. You see, this problem isn't something that you just use once and then throw away. Women will pump 1 to 8 times a day from 3 to 12 months after they've had their baby. By the time they're done, they will have spent 227 hours attached to the wrong end of one of these. And it's not just a few women either. 85% of babies will have mums who pump. That's millions upon millions of women globally who are having pain and discomfort overlooked. Now, our team of engineers, that's me, designers and doctors, are focused on completely revolutionising breast pumping globally, starting from the nipple up. Meet the Milk Drop cushion. Milk Drop fits most breast pump heads, making them softer and more natural feeling. It's medical grade, reusable, and made in Australia. Most importantly, we've profoundly changed the experience. 95% of women using these right now are finding pumping more comfortable. In our pilot, comfort scores went from 5 to 9 out of 10, while nipples, swelling, redness and chafing all but disappeared. We're a medical device registered with the TGA, we've protected our IP, and our design for our second product, a breast pump that is going to completely change the way the world thinks and feels about pumping, is well on its way. So, do you know someone whose nipples could use some comfort? Buy one for them, or share with your networks so that we can help women finally have the good experience they deserve.
Fantastic. Well, thanks everyone for sticking around. We've saved the best till last. So my name's Kate Morris and I'm one of the Startmate mentors for Milk Drop, and very happy to be here this evening with Milk Drop co-founder and CEO Alex Sinicus. So Alex, I mean, you're a direct-to-consumer product and we can see all of your, your beautiful Instagram feed and your gorgeous website, and there's a lot of public-facing content here, but can you tell us a bit more about what's going on behind the scenes? Who's your team? I think you're on mute, Alex.
Okay, start again. I'm pulling a Lauren. We're a team of 7. We've got design, engineering, medical, marketing, and commercial. And our sweet spot, I'd say, is really problem solving. So we look for health problems that are overlooked, that allow us to genuinely create new IP, new products, using digital design, prototyping, robotics, which we're getting quite good at and quite efficient. But most importantly, problems that where a beautiful experience and design is really valued and needed by the person using the product. So behind the scenes is probably a little bit more technical than people realise at first glance, which I think we can probably thank our Startmate squad for. They've been really schooling us in how to present ourselves to the market, which has been awesome. So thanks.
Fantastic. Now, one of the things that I know that you achieved during Startmate was running your first pilot, which was the first time you actually got to test with other women apart from yourself. What did you learn?
Yeah, so the pilot was, a massive proof point for us after about 18 months of work and medical regulations. And, really the problem was that we knew it worked for me, but we weren't, it wasn't clear how many other women it worked for. So how representative was, sorry guys, my breast of other women? And it turns out 75%. So our product worked just as well on me as it did for 75% of other women. And then we just had to tweak it slightly to cover another 20%. So in the commercial world, that sounds great, but in the medical world, that's quite a profound success. So success in medicine might be a 5% improvement for some women using a whole bundle of products. So that kind of blew us away. And then on top of that, hearing from women about how it had genuinely changed their experience just gave us evidence and probably confidence to launch in earnest last week. So that was good.
Oh, and congratulations on the launch. I mean, those are absolutely incredible pilot results for the cushion. But what's next for Milk Drop? I mean, what's the big ambition?
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't have to have used a pump yourself to understand that it's not that comfortable. You can just ask any woman who's pumped and she'll say that pumping is a big part of early stage motherhood and later when you go back to work. But mostly women will just say that they hated it. And it's universally hated and universally not fixed. So we'll just keep going until we can fix that problem. And we'll go from cushions, which solve the nipple pain, but we'll move to a pump next. So watch this space. And if you know someone who could use some comfort, check out our website. I was serious in that video.
That's right. Yeah. Buy one for all the mums you know.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Alex, and thank you, Kate, for moderating that conversation. I'm sorry if I jinxed you, Alex, before you went up there. Apparently, you're pulling a Lauren is now trending. This is just great. Thank you so much. That was an excellent way to finish Startmate Demo Days pitch lineup. We're now going to move into the last session to close things out. But thanks again.
All right. Welcome to the end of Demo Day. And please stay for the next minute or two. Is one more step coming up But what is next for everybody? Tomorrow, you will receive an email with all of the recordings from tonight. You will also get information about the AWS $5,000 credit offer, and you will receive information about our upcoming Startmate open house. So if you are a founder in the room, I have one big tip for you. You absolutely have to sign up for Startmate's open house. And lots and lots of fun, lots and lots of sessions, and lots of great advice. So finally, a huge thank you to all of you for joining Demo Day and all of the different sessions. And a huge shout out to all of the founders who you met today, but also to all of the mentors and partners who supported them over the last 12 weeks. Lastly, none of this would have been possible without number one, LaunchVic. So thank you so much for your support. And number two, the Startmate team. And you can see the whole Startmate team right now. So a big shout out to, there we go, Sasha and Ewan for shepherding the founders throughout the last 12 weeks of the accelerator. And big shout out to Ryan, who launched our startmate.com. Go check it out. And of course, the stars of today's show, Bronte and Lauren, who made everything today happen. And what an absolute amazingly incredible operation. Lastly, it's not over yet. Come and join us for the virtual after party. So we'll drop a link into the chat right now. You also have it in your emails. And you can actually hang out now with the founders, with the Startmate team, with the rest of the audience. So see you all at Gathertown. And thanks so much for joining us at Demo Day. I hope everybody